And Bird said, "Let there be sound."
You guys said pre-show, so okay. I don't know. I don't know what you guys see in the pre-shows. I really don't. It's me sitting here just getting ready to do the show. And junk. Being a dork. Or a geek. I remember when that kind of thing was actually frowned upon. It's like not anymore. It's being a geek anymore is like something that's kind of cool if you're some kind of geek, but it didn't used to be. It used to be back when I was going to high school. That was a thing you didn't want to be called. You didn't want to be called a geek back then. It was bad. People beat you up. Everybody says pre-show. Yay, Bird. Sora says, "We love the things that come out of your face." Well, the pre-show is, it's just me. I just me sitting here. I mean, I try to, for the Beercast, I always try to pile up some kind of words of wisdom or something, intelligent or thoughtful, introspective to say. And the pre-show is just me waiting to say it. So, generally sitting here and looking at Twitter and just being a bird. Just being a bird. Kazo says, "I have a hot dog. It made me happy." I love simple statements like that when somebody can be happy because of a small thing. That makes me happy, even if it's not me, because it's like, I nommed a cookie. It made me happy. I like that. I like when people can be happy. I like hot dogs too, by the way. Hey, Kaz, was that your name? Yeah, Kazo. What do you like on your hot dogs? Because personally, I do. My favorite thing to have on hot dogs is just relish and mustard. But occasionally, I will also put relish and horseradish sauce on hot dogs, and that's good too. And so is Heinz 57. Heinz 57 is also good on hot dogs. So now I'm just reading. Bird, what is this crazy shit? I see my finger type words on the screen. Awesome. Oh, you haven't been here for a couple of shows. Yeah, I started doing this a couple of shows ago with the now I can pretend to look right at your chat. I can go, huh? Little sidebar. I can point at you. I can go, hey, you right there. Get out, you. Yeah, no, actually, who am I pointing at when I think I was pointing at whale rules? Sorry, I didn't mean get out. I was just being Oh my God! Really? You don't say. See, this is the kind of crap you get with a pre-show. Quality entertainment right here, right? Biohazarda. Too, if you have a 360-degree face, does that make you part owl? No, I don't have to. Well, all birds can spin their heads around almost all the way. In fact, the bird that can spin their head around the most is, I think, a falcon. If it's not a falcon, then you're right, it is an owl. But I think there's one falcon that can actually turn their head 120 degrees. So they can pretty much start here and wind up spinning it all the way around and looking pretty much here. So it's a bird thing. It's a bird thing. It's what we do that. We just like to spin our heads around. We were big fans of The Exorcist, and so we learned to do that. Never go full bird. Says, hey, Jackie Foxbutt's in here. What's up, man? I swear, the hours you keep, craziness. But then again, let's see. It's like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's like 1 in the morning or something. 12 or 1 in the morning where you are? Yeah. Oh, man. There's a restaurant around here that puts sauerkraut on their hot dogs and potato chips. That's good. That's a good thing to have. Hot dogs and sauerkraut. That's good stuff. I used to eat that when I was a kid. I haven't had that in a long time. The faces you make remind me of my 53-year-old father. That's because I'm an old man. That's the old look. You just and we have to practice that. Old people have to practice that over time. We have to practice the confused look. We have to be able to look confused properly so people will know when we're confused and we can just go, It's a lot of it's in the eyes too. You have to do this with your eyes. Oh man. 15 minutes. 2, are you sick? Well, I've been accused of such things before. Yeah. No, I'm not anymore. I was sick for a while. I got a cold when I saw Zootopia a couple of weekends ago. But I'm good now. I'm feeling better. You're a correct bird butt. Jackie Fox butt, and I'm the bird butt, and you all are the yaw butts. I'm eating peanut butter on toast. That's good, too. I've had that. I have eaten almost every kind of nom you can think of, and I like nearly all of it. In fact, I love nearly all of it. I'm a big nom lover. I've known people who they pick their food off of their other food. That drives me nuts. That's one of my things that I hate to use this word, but I'm not triggered by many things, but two of the things that I am triggered, I guess you could say triggered by, because it instantly makes me go, nope, can't, and I have to leave, is people who pick food off of their food, and it's like, oh, I don't like that, I can't eat that. That just, I can't deal with that. And that and people who eat really loudly. Those two things, I don't know, it's eating, I have eating triggers, I guess. But, yeah, I like almost all foods. To ever consider having a guest on the show? I could try sometime. I don't know where I'd put him. This is a small studio, and I could maybe try and sit them in the chair with me or something like that. But, yeah, we could, at some point we'll try. Can't remember if you tried haggis. I have tried haggis. I actually like haggis. I like haggis. Don't like menudo. I wasn't fond of menudo. There are a few things that I won't try. Do not want that, oh, come on. Oh, help me out here. That fish. That frickin' rotten fish in a can from Sweden, I think, or somewhere around there. I don't want that on my face. I also, nothing with Mexican caviar on it. I don't know if you guys know this, but Mexican caviar is actually fly larvae. I don't want that in my face. Outside of that, I've eaten everything. I've eaten chocolate covered scorpions, and I like them actually. So yeah, I'll eat almost anything. But yeah, that's it. Surströmming. I can't pronounce that. Yeah, that's it. I cannot pronounce that with my American face. It won't come out right. But yeah, that's the stuff. Seriously, if someone in my town would have a Subway or open an Italian place, they would be rolling in cash. You know, Jackie, that's something I've actually thought of, only a little bit slightly different. I've actually thought about moving to Berlin, Germany, and opening a Texas barbecue steakhouse. Because in Berlin, that shit would go over so well. That place would be just packed all the time. And so if I ever retire from, like, doing entertainment, then that's probably what I'll do. I'll probably move to Germany somewhere, probably in the middle of a big city, likely Berlin, and I'll open up a Texas bar and barbecue, and yeah, I'll be rolling in. I'd be rolling in cash if I did that. I should probably do that. Should probably do it anyway. No, because then I wouldn't have time to do this, and I enjoy doing this. This being, you know, videos and entertainment and stuff. 2, have you tried Rocky Mountain oysters? I certainly have, and I like them too. You're very rarely going to stump me. There's one food I'll tell you about that we'll see. It's like, I won't refuse to eat them, but they're not my favorite. It's like one of the few foods I don't love. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It's pickled beets. I don't know why. I just don't. There's something about pickled beets I'm not terribly fond of. Now, in Australia, they put like beet sauce on hamburgers and stuff. They'll mush up beets into a paste, and they'll like put it on hamburgers and things, and that's good. I like that. But just pickled beets by themselves are not too great. Texas Barbecue Cast. Oh man. Oh yeah, I would not open a shawarma place in Berlin because there's already 52 million shawarma places in Berlin. This is a fact. Give me a second. Hang on. I'm gonna go make sure my my water and stuff is ready, and it's in my fridge and stuff. Oh, I should, I've decided that, this is Barney. Barney is the giraffe, because Barney usually sits right here when I'm doing my gaming videos. But, so he is the giraffe, and I keep him around because for the inevitable Bree, because Breeze will happen on the show, which will happen by my watch in 8 minutes, by the way, from now. Rather 9 minutes. So, yeah. But, yes, if you just tuned in and you're like, holy crap, did I miss it? No, you didn't miss it. I just started it a little early, and I'm not even really doing a show. This is sometimes the dudes in the chat, they ask me for a pre-show, and so I just turn it on, and before the show actually starts, I just sit here and just jerk off, pretty much. There we go. Okay, so not actually doing show, just being a bonehead. Yes, whale rules. The giraffe, part chair, part giraffe. No, he just sits there. That's his spot. His little spot right there. Right? He fits perfectly. There we go. He just fits perfectly right there. He likes being there. He helps me not be scared. I don't know how many times I've knocked him off playing scary video games when I've gone, wah, poosh, and knock off the giraffe. The giraffe. Yes, saber bonehead. I don't know if that's a word that's used anymore, but used to be a nice word for, well, not a nice word, but it used to be a word for a stupid person, an idiot. If they did a stupid thing to do, you'd say it's a boneheaded thing to do. Bonehead. Even though everybody kind of is a bonehead, because I don't want to say most of a person's head is made up of bones, but a very good deal of it is. I think most of a person's head is made up of actually brain. And the second biggest thing in your head is bones. So everybody's a bonehead. Velcro giraffe. No, he doesn't have any Velcro. He's just so perfectly designed to fit in the chair that he just does. And he gives everybody hugs. Aww. Woo. 5 minutes to go. See, this is why I started doing the pre-show in the first place, because I had a hard time just sitting around and waiting for the show to begin. I mean, I'd be looking at Twitter and doing stuff, but I'd pretty much just be twiddling my thumbs and waiting for the show. So one day I just started, well, it was last time. I just started up and went early. And then everybody in the channel this time was like, do it again! Do it again with the early in the thing! We liked that! And so it's like, oh man, okay. Good evening, Bird. Hello, Mio. Hello, everybody who has come in and is saying hi. Do you drink coffee? What's your favorite? I can't drink coffee. I can't have caffeine. I was told when I was 17, I used to drink Coke, Dr. Pepper, a lot of soft drinks. I drink them 3, maybe 4 times a day. And I started having these periods where I would kind of be almost losing consciousness. And that's how I discovered my heart condition, was because I went to the hospital and they're like, okay, caffeine is not good for you because you've got a heart condition, so you should not drink caffeine. And then I got out and I went, yeah, right. And I drank some caffeine. And then I woke up in the hospital again and they're standing over me going, no, really, you got to stop drinking caffeine. And I'm like, okay, I gotcha. So no caffeine for me. I do like coffee, and I like decaf when I can get it, if it's good. I don't like anything. I don't like cafe au laits and crap in my coffee. I just like black, regular coffee. I love the flavor of just coffee. So if I can get good decaffeinated coffee, then I'll drink it. I also like decaffeinated Dr. Pepper. It's pretty good stuff. It actually almost tastes like the real thing. So, but Timmy Fox, yeah, I started early. Sometimes I do that, but don't worry. I mean, the show hasn't actually officially started yet. I'm just sitting around and bullshitting with the guys here. Love your pre-shows. I don't see how. I really don't understand. But then again, I guess that's the way it kind of works for, I suppose, everybody who gets into this kind of thing. Is it never feels like you deserve or have earned, I guess, the smiles that you're giving to people or the enjoyment that they're having of you. It never feels like you've earned that or deserved it, or that you're really doing anything that is deserving of that. And I think maybe a lot of people feel that way who are entertainers, professional entertainers, probably even actors. But, well, I feel that way too. So, yeah, it's about 3 minutes. 3 minutes, and then we will start up the show, as always, as usual, on time at 6. Hey, could you recommend a beer for a bunny who does not like beer? That's a hard one. If you don't like beer, then there's not much I can recommend for you. That peach beer that I can't think of the name of right now, that's the most unbeer tasting beer I've ever tasted, so that might be something. But if you don't like beer, then no. It's an acquired taste. It's one of those things where you just have to kind of drink it, and eventually you get used to the flavor, and then you start appreciating it for, I guess the flavor it does have, which is like everything. You have to acclimate yourself. I know many people who refuse to eat their vegetables from when they were a little kid, and they still won't do it today. They can't tolerate it in their face. I don't understand that, but they can't. And if you want to, get used to eating something, then you have to eat it, even though you don't it's not your favorite thing in the world. And you will eventually start noticing the subtleties of the flavor, and you'll actually start getting to like it. Anyway, we got about 1 minute left. I don't want there to be 1 minute of black in this video because it is recording. So yeah, pre-show. I kind of wish I could cut out the pre-show out of the actual YouTube recording. Well, maybe I could. Maybe I'd find a way to do it. I'm not sure. I'll see. But yeah, we're gonna get on with it here in just a second. I'll read one more question or two. Not your father's root beer. Yeah, I haven't tried that. I heard of it, but the person at the liquor store was like, it's not very good. So but then again, I don't know the dude. His taste could be totally horrible. I probably should try it for myself, find out. Anyway, let's get on with the show. It's about that time, ain't it? All right, here we go. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Beercast. Welcome to Beercast. Welcome everybody. Welcome all of your bodies. Your body and your body and your body and your body and all of your everybody in here. All of the bodies. Welcome to the Beercast. It is time for us to have our Thursday evening boost. It's like a boost, you know. And I've said this before in the show. What this is really about is, you know, I play a lot. I play characters. And to the Randy Griffin's only one character that I played before. I played plenty of them. Not all of them got anywhere nearly as popular as 2 did. But so some of them, including and especially 2, have a lot of negative things to say. So I figured, you know, maybe we could just do something where I talk about positive things, not as a character. And so that's what this is for. Just to get you through your Thursday. Because Friday, I figure you don't really need a boost on Friday. Friday, when you go to work in the morning, you're like, all right, it's the last day. No, one more day and I'm out of here. And you don't really need a boost for you know, Friday. Thursday, yeah, you got to have that one little boost to get over it and be like, all right. So that's what this is here for. Just a little boost for you guys in the channel that I get to stare at now. I'm gonna do that now. You realize I'm gonna do that every now and then. I'm gonna every time I see a question that's like, you know, really crazy or something, I'm gonna be like, what? So yeah. Anyway, so welcome to the show, and we're gonna be here for the next 90 minutes doing stuff and talking about things. I'm gonna be answering your questions. I'm going to be making some comments. I may even ask you guys some questions. Holy shit, that happens sometimes. But let's see. Today, you know, there's something I wanted to mention because I thought it was really cool. It actually got so hot in my room or in the studio last night when I was sleeping in here that I had to open a window and let in some almost freezing air to cool it down. If that's not a sign that, you know, spring is coming, then I don't know what is. And I'm happy about that. I'm not happy about being too hot. It was so hot I couldn't sleep. Not happy about that part, but I'm happy about the part that spring is coming. Silverlight Unicorn says, hi, too. Hello, first boss. Silverlight will always be first boss. So, yeah, spring is coming around. It's actually coming, and has the first day of spring official first day of spring already passed? It may actually have. We may have already done that. I think we have, in fact. So, officially and unofficially, it's now spring. It's kind of hard to tell in Colorado because every now and then it'll just be nice and it's great and it's awesome, and then it'll dump snow on you suddenly out of nowhere, and it becomes a winter wonderland again. But, well, you know, hey, dynamics, they make life interesting, I guess. Anyway, yeah, so Sunday, Easter's coming up, and I'm not much into the religious aspects of Easter, and strangely, never was. When I was growing up, my family was very highly religious. I was as well. I was raised that way. I was raised as a Christian in the Church of Christ. And though we believed in all the doctrine and in the Bible, for some reason, maybe it was just our particular denomination, but they never really connected Easter with religion, at least not in our family. We understood it was the day that Jesus was supposed to have been born and all this stuff, even though he couldn't have been born on Easter, but, just for religious sake. It was something that we just played with eggs. We just got eggs. We did the egg thing. We hid eggs, and we looked for them. And we do that all day. Mom and Dad would hide the egg for us, and we would go look for them. And to this day, I think the thing that I'm most fond of about Easter, that I have to kind of laugh at myself at, is the smell of vinegar. Because, as you guys know, I don't know if you know this or not, the traditional way to do this, I don't even know if they still do this or not. You can go to the store, you buy these little packets that have these little tiny dye pills in them, and you put them in a cup. We usually did a coffee cup that is filled with vinegar. And you put the eggs in the vinegar, and then it dyes the eggshell, and you have an actual, dyed egg. You boil it first, of course, but they probably just use plastic ones mostly now. However, back then we always used real ones. And the smell of vinegar in the kitchen, the dye combined with the vinegar, and then there was the association with all these really pretty colors, because we would try to mix the colors. We'd dye it blue, and then we'd dye it red, and depending on how long you left it in either, you'd come out with this really cool shade of purple or rose or lavender or something, and sometimes you get a brown egg out of or a green one. Well, they had green dye, but then you could make green with other colors, and just sitting around doing that activity, I think was something that got buried into my own head, and I still to this day think it's really cool how awesome that kind of smell. Smells are very, that you associate in your brain a lot with smell, and that's one of the things that I associate with the smell of vinegar is Easter, which, just to let you know, I like the smell of vinegar. I love vinegar. Vinegar is awesome to me. So anyway, just wanted to let just let that out, and so you guys can think about maybe what you guys like Easter about. And I still cannot pronounce your name. I'm going to call you Sto. He says, I celebrate Easter. I celebrate the fact that the store closes that day. Hey, that's a good reason to celebrate. If the store closes and you don't have to work, that's awesome. So, yeah. We did color egg competition in the last meet, which was awesome seeing what people did. Some did a Spyro egg. PE says that. A Spyro, I guess, says in Spyro the Dragon, right? Like deep purple egg? That'd be cool. Mr. Horizon says, are you going to shoot any chocolate bunnies this year? No, won't be shooting any chocolate bunnies this year. That even though I wouldn't mind doing it, that was fun when I did it. But no, I'll probably just be chilling out. I'll probably be here in the studio making videos. But anyway, there is all that, and it's something to think about. And Schleigelhaufen, says Matthew B. I remember that from the 2 Cent Show, which, by the way, is growing closer and closer to the day that will start happening regularly. Again, we will revive that. Wanted to mention, by the way, if you guys didn't know, Kage's wine stream is going to be a Saturday, so day after tomorrow. I don't know if we've ever actually been on the same week before, the Beercast and the wine stream, but we are this week, so if you want to catch that, I highly recommend it. He's always fun to watch, and he gets far drunker than I do. I try to keep it within, some kind of tolerance so that I can continue to talk and make sense, and which I kind of like doing when I'm on camera, but that doesn't mean that I don't at least partake a little bit. 2, which do you prefer? 5.56 or 223. Well, 5.56 is, I think that's an AK round. I'm pretty sure. Well, AK and a lot of other things too. So I'm gonna take that one. The .223 actually has a lot more velocity, which is really cool because you can do some really neat things with it. But I would choose the bigger round. Why are we suddenly I'm talking about caliber, about bullet calibers on the Beercast. I don't know why. Guns are a thing that I enjoy. So, and I am fortunately not one of the crazy people running around shooting them at people. I don't shoot guns at people. I shoot rocket launchers at people. Sometimes I throw grenades at people. I also do not mind axing people a question with an axe. But no, I don't shoot people with guns. That's just rude. No, I'm kidding. I actually do shoot people with guns. Anyway, now I'm just being ridiculous. So yeah, Kage's coming up this weekend. Now I'm looking to you guys for stuff I don't know what to do now. See, it's like a couple of times before I would like fill my own, I would like have too many ideas and it would run out of time and I wouldn't have a chance to talk to you guys. So I started putting less things, and then I get to the point where I run out of things that I'm going to talk about, and I look on the channel and everybody's just spewing bullet calibers now, and I can't, there's nothing. Let's see. Oh, Exothermia says, you think Uncle Kage gets drunk? I got so drunk last time, I'm told I was flirting with Kage. You got to be some drunk to do that. You have to be some really, really drunk. No, actually, Uncle Kage, I've never seen him. I mean, I've seen him drunk. I've seen him really, really, really drunk. But I've never seen him be irresponsible. Apparently, there was one time, there's a story that he tells where he got really drunk and really irresponsible one time, and there was even a video of it that was, I think, quickly destroyed. However, he doesn't, if he's done that, it's only been one time. So, at least one time that anybody knows about. He's usually a very responsible person, even when he's sloshed. Pew, the AD says, Bert, I turned 21 this October. What drink should I kick off my 21st with? A Midori Sour. Go get it. Go get a Midori Sour. Either learn how to make them or go to a bar and get a Midori Sour. Those are really good first drinks for 21. I always recommend that for, what should my first drink be? Midori Sour. Definitely. Because probably you're not going to for my first drink, I want a double shot of Jim Beam. You're probably not going to do, you're probably not going to want that. You'll be like, go, and you will never drink again. And you will fall over dead. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's one die. I've had one die. Let's talk about waffle recipes. I like waffles with banana and orange liqueur. Waffles. I probably have had one waffle in my life. I know that's kind of sad. I just haven't had the opportunity to get them. I mean, I've eaten a lot of pancakes. I love banana nut pancakes. Those are awesome. But I have not had many waffles. 2, was Kage drunk in the Hamtaro suit? I don't think he was. I don't think he was drunk in there. Well, at least not any drunker than I was. We'd had some booze, but we weren't exactly drunk. We were just drinking at that point. Later, we got drunk. No, I'll tell you what drunk was. Drunk was the time that he and I wound up, and this is Kage and I, wound up late at night. It's 3 a.m. We don't want to go to sleep. We're really drunk, and we're continuing to get drunk because we got a big box of wine. I don't know if you ever seen this box wine, but we got a big box of wine, and we'd already started drinking, and we were on stage drinking, and then we went on further to be on a different stage and kept drinking, and we spent like 4 hours on stage doing different shows, charity shows, comedy shows and stuff, and we were just drinking wine the whole time. Now it's like, 2, 3 in the morning. We're still awake. Everybody's asleep. There are people in our rooms, so we can't go back to the rooms that we stay in to continue to drink. So we wound up in a stairwell, in the fire escape stairwell at 3 a.m. with a cheap box of wine, practically leaning on each other to hold each other up, continuing to drink The lion out of the box. And oh boy, we were really drunk that night. We were really smashed. That was an interesting time for us. But yeah, anyone drank Purple Jesus? I think I'd try it. I don't know what happens when Jesus turns purple. Can you drink a purple Jesus? If Jesus turns purple, can you? Is it like a little one of those little purple like popsicles that are made in the form of Jesus? You can go and eat. Oh God, Jesus popsicles! Oh boy, I could make so much money. Oh, get a little a little thing you could stick a stick in, and the little forms that make the popsicles are Jesus's. Oh, don't steal my idea. I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna make Jesus popsicles. I'm gonna do that and then sell it to people, and people will be like, Jesus popsicles. I'll eat Jesus popsicles. I'll just pull it out and bite his head off. He died for my flavor. Nom, nom. Throws tamales at I like tamales. Thank you, Wayo Rules. Wayo Rules. Home. I just nommed a tamale that someone threw at me. Purple Haze says Night Fox. Purple Haze, well, first it was a song, and then in the 80s, it was a particular brand of acid, as in LSD. I don't know what it is now. Whale Rule says, I'm 21 and I have never drank any beer, just wine. That's fine. I mean, I know people who are like way, way, way even older than me, and they've never had a drink of booze in their life. People like me and Kage sometimes wind up glorifying booze a bit. And it's not that we do it on purpose. It's just we like to have fun drinking booze, and we got the stereotype or the image of being, really drunk all the time, and people seem to enjoy and have fun with that. But the fact is, you don't have to get drunk to have a good time. You really don't. And I think every now and then it's something that I'm going to personally do, not all the time, but since I've got the reputation of being a big boozer, then I'm going to say that you got to do it responsibly. It's not something you just want to go and just guzzle all the booze in the world. It doesn't automatically make everything more fun. In fact, if you drink too much, it makes everything really not fun. So something you got to be responsible with, and you got to take in moderation. And Kage does this too. It's just, it doesn't seem like it, but Kage drinks less than I do. So it's just when he is drunk, he's usually on stage or in front of a camera. So there you go. But Legion Bunny, hey, too, I learned you can apparently sell one of your testicles for $35,000. If that's true, I'd have $70,000 right now. I don't really need mine anymore. I don't do anything with them, so I don't even know if that's true or not. But I have heard that before. I've heard that. I don't know if it's just a rumor or if it's actually a fact. Hi, Graphics. Welcome to the channel. It's good to have you. Sorry, I'm giggling at the thing here. I'll be 21 this year. Hey, what seems to be the theme for the show is being 21. I'll be 21 this year. I haven't really touched anything alcoholic since that single time I tried light beer with my parents at the age of 16. No plans of changing that. Light beer. No. Don't drink light beer. Light beer is nasty. It's gnarly. Especially if it's like, Miller Lite or Bud Light or something like that. That's some gnarly stuff. So, oh yeah, everybody's like where they're from. Antarctica. You're not in Antarctica, Jackie Foxbutt. I know you're not in Antarctica. Although, one of these days, I honestly would like to visit Antarctica. I would like to visit the station down there, McMurdo. I think it'd be really cool. Lizzie says, how long has the show been going, or hasn't it started yet? It started at 6, like it always does. Or, 6 Mountain Time, which means 5 Pacific or 8 Eastern. So, yeah. Anyway, now I'm struggling. It may just be me. I may just be kind of, brain dead today. I've felt a little bit coming out of my little nap earlier, so it's probably just me. But hopefully I'll kick my brain in gear, and we'll have more stuff to talk about after the upcoming break here in just a few seconds. My first alcohol was a Bloody Mary my classmate made. I like Bloody Marys, but the thing about Bloody Marys is you have to like tomato juice. And a lot of people don't like tomato juice. Personally, I love it. Again, I love all of the noms. Tomato juice, I'm fine with it. Strangely, the only thing that I usually don't put vodka in is Bloody Mary mix. I like that just straight without any booze in it at all. So, I know that's weird and everything. Anyway, I'm going to remember how to work my keys here. Yep, and then after I do that, we're going to take a short break where we're going to show your photographs that you sent in. Which, by the way, you guys sent in a lot of them. Thank you for those, and they're really good. Back in just a few. Bockety Bok, I'm back. I have removed my hat, and I've turned on my little fan over there. And normally I can use the fan when I'm doing gaming videos because I don't process this in the same way. I don't process the audio. This is live processing. So if it's actually picking up fan noise and you guys can hear it, then let me know, and I'll turn off the fan. But I had to take my hat off because it was making me feel uncomfortable. Maybe that's why I couldn't think, because I was sitting here in that hat and it's hot and stuff, and I probably shouldn't wear that hat. I wear it because it's kind of Beercasty, and this is the hat that I wear when I go out. But you ever done that? Have you ever like sat there and had a hat on and sweated in it, and you take it off for a few minutes and the sweat gets really cold, and then you put it back on and it's like, nasty, bug it. So yeah, that's we're not gonna do that again. Hey, question. You seen Zootopia yet? Please give us your opinion, but no spoils, please. I wouldn't spoil it. I wouldn't do that. I thought the story. Okay. As with many stories, as far as movies go, being made into movies, I found the story to be laboriously unoriginal. It was not an original story at all, but it was told in a very original way. So that's okay. And I thought everything about the movie, the character design and the character animation was really good. And so I mostly positive thumbs up. I'm going to have a criticism about everything. I've never found a perfect movie in my life. So, yeah, but I do give it plenty of golden griffin eggs. It gets at least 4 golden griffin eggs out of 5. So, yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it. Didn't like the cold I caught at the theater, which is now over, but my nose is still sniffly. I think it's the weather changing, probably. It's doing that. Anyway, this is called the Beercast for a reason, because we have a weekly beer every week. And this week's weekly beer is the same as last week's weekly beer, which is vodka. And I apologize for this. I really do. In general, I like to have a new beer here every time so I can kind of review the beer and talk about the beer. And this is a result directly of my inability to plan things out correctly. And the reason why this happened is because, I don't own a car. I don't own one at all. And so the one that I can drive is usually gone because Toast uses it to go to work with because it's his. Now, I have plenty of other friends around that I've poked at and say, hey, can we make a booze run and I can get beer and I'll even buy you one. However, that works most of the time, except for when all of my friends simultaneously are off on business trips that are completely unrelated to each other. That's what happened. Wednesday I was around. It's like, can I get some, maybe I can get you a ride with you tomorrow to grab a beer for the Beercast. And everybody was like, nope, we're taking off on business trips. And it's like, oh, well, okay. So there was no way for me to get a beer again. So I'm going to have to stop that. I'm going to have to make sure that I get a beer way in advance, keep it in the fridge just for the Beercast. So, yeah, I got my beer. Says 7, I guess. VII. Literally the only beer I have tried that I would drink again. Well, I'm glad you found one. That's good. A lot of people don't get into beer. They don't like beer, and that's fine. I can understand that. I didn't like beer at first either. But once you get acclimated to the flavor of it, like I said before, you can start to taste these deeper tones in it, and you start having a real appreciation for the flavor of it. So there's that. There's everything on the other channel. Somebody was talking earlier in this channel that they had no idea that I had another channel. They didn't know I did gaming and rants and things like that. So yeah, on the other channel, things are going really, really well right now. It's growing, and I'm still loving doing all the videos that I'm doing. And we've got more coming out this weekend and next week and the week after that. It's going to be plenty and plenty of videos. Train says, wow, too, you have the same problems as I do. I'm completely reliant on people to give me a ride to some places, hence why I can't do much. Normally I don't leave the house much at all anyway because I'm usually in here working, but yeah, it's kind of a pain in the butt when you got to rely on other people to get around. So, and I don't have the money to just go out and buy a car. Maybe one day I'll buy another one. I can drive, and I've had a car most of my life. It's just once I moved to LA, you don't need a car there. So I sold mine, and I haven't got one since. I should have not done that, probably. I should have just kept it. But Draco Silverclaw says, 2 had hair once upon a time. It was long. 2's same as Kage. Kage had kind of long hair. I had really long hair for a while. I had hair down to all of it. And I just sang your comment. This could turn into singing your comments. The singing your comments section, even though I can't sing. You can see 2 having hair when you Google images of him. Yeah, there are some old ones out there of me with the top of my head, top of my face hair. It was like a top face beard is what it was. And I had that for a while until I shaved it. No, I don't have it anymore. Anyway, I had an idea that I wanted to share with you guys. Because I like podcasts. I still like podcasts. I don't like calling them podcasts. Because you can't really call them broadcasts. But I also don't like associating them with iPods. Because that's where the word podcast came from. Is people would play them on their iPods. So they started calling every show, every audio show that was uploaded onto the internet a podcast, which, well, whatever. I mean, I'll use the word just for the sake of, not confusing people. But I want to do another one. I've done them before. I'm doing the Beercast now, this is pretty much loosely based on the Radio Free Potatoes that I was doing before. So that's kind of out of my system. Well, it's here now. I can do this all the time. But I want to start a different one, and it's something that I've thought about doing for a long time, years actually, but am kind of have been waiting for the right time until I was ready to do it. And basically what it is, I want to deal with the deeper, more sensitive issues in society and the way we think about them. But I want to do it on a completely serious level. Things like, the social issues that are surrounding us today. I want to talk about how we think about them and why they think about things the way they do and why we respond with, what we think about. Basically, why words are zip files that get into our head, expand, and then mean what they mean. Basically a social commentary. I want to do a show like that called the Sunday Morning Deprogramming. And I think I might start doing that sometime. I've already started hacking out some ideas for it. So you may get a podcast from me sometime in the next little while. At least a test one. I want to do a pilot episode to see if anybody likes it. It's going to be around an hour, possibly 90 minutes per show, so it'll be something that you can set up on a Saturday morning when you're hanging out and building your birdhouse or doing your whatever hobbies you have or enjoying the day, and you can just play it while you're doing whatever you're doing and listen to it. And I think I want to do that. PE says 2 Cents used to be a podcast, right? I think I remember having. Yeah, it did. 2 Cents did start out as a podcast. This show's predecessor started out as a podcast. And every time I move a show to being from a podcast to a video show, I then want to go back and do a podcast because I enjoy doing podcasts. So this may be my departure back into podcasting again if I have the time to do it. Hopefully I do. Pardon me. A little bit of residual from that cold that I had. Draco says 2 for president, and I have telephone Secretary of the Interior. If that $10,000 ridiculousness happens on my Patreon page, then I'll go for it. I'll try to see. I'll see if telephone would run for the Secretary of Interior, and if she does, then that'd be kind of awesome. No, wait. No. Head of Foreign Affairs. Telephone should be head of Foreign Affairs. Because it doesn't matter where you send her in the world. All she has to do is bounce around and squeak a little bit, and then that country will be friends with America. That's all we need. That's all we need to do, is just send telephone around. Ray Fox says, "Hey, two, are you enjoying getting scared shitless all the time on your gaming channel?" I am, actually. I know it sounds a little bit weird, but people are the only species on the planet that actually enjoy scaring themselves and that do it on purpose. And so, yeah, I actually am enjoying the games that I'm playing. Right now, I've got 2 scary ones going at once, which I probably shouldn't have done that, but Layers of Fear was just too much to turn down. I wanted to actually, I wanted to get that one going because it's a really pretty game, even though it is terrifying. It's really, really pretty. Anyway, something to note. I had something happened to me this last week, and it was kind of an eye opener for me. The electricity went off here in the house at the studio, and it went off because it got shut off, and it got shut off because furries are forgetful, and the particular furry that dwells within this residence that it's his responsibility to actually make sure that the electric bill is paid, forgot to do that. So they came and they turned off our electricity. Now, it wasn't very long before we got it straightened out and they came right back. We maybe had loss of power for about 5 hours. But in those 5 hours, I realized how much between the 80s and now, how much more I'd become dependent on electricity. I mean, before, in the 80s, when the electricity would go off, well, you'd be missing your music. You couldn't play music anymore, and you couldn't watch TV. And that'd be about it. Everything else that you did back then, or that I did anyway, I could still do. I could still grab a guitar and a piece of paper and write down notes and write music. Or pick up a battery-operated game and play it because they had those. And didn't matter if the batteries went out because you just put more batteries in. Now you got cell phones, and unfortunately you can play games on your cell phone, but when the electricity goes out and you don't know when it's going to come back on, you're not going to sit there and play games on your phone. You're going to preserve that for phone calls. So I'm sitting here and it's like there was almost literally nothing for me I couldn't think of anything to do. And then I started getting mad at myself because I started feeling too acclimated to this. And so what I did was I had been making notes for a new rant that I was making, that I am currently making, and I whipped out a piece of paper and a pen, and I started writing more ideas down by hand, and doing work like that, and that kind of brought me back to what it was like to actually, back then when everybody did things on paper or with separate little gadgets and not things just on one, smartphone. And I'm still a little bit disturbed by how much that removed from my life. I got scared because I can't work if I don't have electricity now. And that's something maybe I need to do some stuff. I need to start putting some more things into my life that don't require electricity all the time. Things that you can just, enjoy that are just powered by life. And maybe that's a thought for you guys as well. Because if you think about it, what would happen to you if your power went out? I mean, well, right now, you'd suddenly be missing me. My face would go book it and it'd be gone. But outside of that, what would you do? You'd probably try and find something battery operated and turn it on and play with it. But maybe think about that next time. Maybe it's a deal where, you could learn to appreciate some things that don't require electricity. Gardening or working with your hands, building things out of wood. Something like that. I used to build furniture, a lot of furniture. I'd build almost everything for myself, shelves and beds and chairs. I think I might start getting back into that. Just have something in my life that isn't powered by electricity, but more powered by me. Because sometimes you have to wonder, if Who's doing the powering? Are you powering your things, or are they powering you? That's an interesting question to ask, I guess. Learzeal says, holy shit, too, I just remembered this is the season of your worst enemies, bees! Well, fortunately, there aren't too many of those around here. At least not wasps. I don't like wasps. Honeybees are cute until they sting you with their deadly butt needles, and then they can just go to hell. That's something you can do without power, is get stung by bees. Holy crap, maybe we do need electricity. Oh my gosh. I'm going to take another little break here, have a little bit of my other beer, and be back in just a few with some more thoughts. Actually, some bad news, but I think I have some good ideas. I'll be back. So coming out of the break now, I hope that everybody has honestly had a good week, and that so far 2016 has been a good year for everyone. It's been a life-changing year for me in many ways, and most of them have been positive. There's one thing I want to talk about that's a bit personal, and it's one of those things that I don't really want to throw it out there, but because of the way that a lot of you guys out there think of me and think of my life, it doesn't feel fair not to say something about it. So I'm just going to tell you guys, and this is something that I'm going to hopefully have a bit of insight here on for you guys, but as of January, in fact, January 2nd of this year, Toast the Rabbit and I are no longer together. No more ring. So that happened. Now, the reason I'm saying this, I'm not going to go into any details about how or why or anything like that. The reason I'm saying this is because it just feels wrong to allow people to continue believing that Toast and I are together when we're not. It feels dishonest. And like I said, it's not something I want to publicize all over the place, but it's also something that I want to make sure that, people know the truth about, so that, they don't continue to, think that we're the still together. However, when it first happened, and the reason I waited until now to start talking about this kind of thing is because it's something that it took a while to adjust to. It took a while to gather my feelings on it and to kind of wind down from and to get a grip on, as it always does when something like that happens. And again, it's something that has reaffirmed something in my life for me that I've noticed that I'd like to express to anybody out there who is going through a breakup or will go through a breakup, because the chances are highly that you will eventually go through a bad breakup with somebody that you really do care about. First of all, Toast and I are still friends. We still are in contact with each other. It wasn't a messy, nasty, hateful thing. And in many cases, in many ways, rather, it has turned out to be better for both of us that this happened. So there's that. And you know me, I'm always looking toward the bright side. Remember, I always say there's a million bad things and a million good things that happen to you every day. And it's really just a matter of which ones you focus on. There's always a good side to everything that happens, even if it's bad. So focusing on the good things, there are good things that came from this. However, again, as has happened before with me, and something I want to express to you guys, when and if you ever go through something like this, the thing that will help you get through, hopefully, it helps me get through, is to remember what you've really lost. Because when you lose somebody that you're very close to, you feel a sense of loss. You feel like you've lost something, and you feel like you've lost an enormous amount. And that feeling of loss can haunt you over and over again, sometimes for years, depending on how close the relationship was. And something that is important to consider is what you have lost. Because in general, the thing that most people lament for when they lose a loved one like that is the idea of what their life was going to be with that person, what their future was going to be. You lose things that are in your head. You lose that house that you were going to get. You lose that promotion. You lose that job. You lose those picnics out in the mountains that you always pictured that you were going to do one day. You lose those times that you imagined would happen. But when you think about it really hard, that stuff never happened. It was a construct that you made in your head, and that is mostly what you've lost, is imaginary future. And when you think about things that way, when you lose a loved one like this, it's really a lot easier to turn around and understand that what you've really done in your life is you've had years, hopefully, but sometimes it's several years, of good times. It's easy to become thankful to the person that you've broken up with or who's broken up with you for the years of good things that they gave to you in your life, and let go of the imaginary future that you never were going to have. You weren't meant to have it. It wasn't going to be there. You thought it was, but it was never going to be there. It's just something that you thought. That's what you lost, was something that you thought. And really the only thing that you've done is you've gained something. Even after a breakup like that, you've gained years of time. You've gained those special moments. You've gained wonderful, happy moments in your life that you can remember and you can sit back and you can have learned from and you can be happy about. And that's a good thing, that you had those times. And when you ditch the idea of having lost some future that you were never supposed to have in the first place, it becomes a lot easier to see that in your life. So if anybody ever has this, this problem where they're having a breakup, or they have had a breakup, or going through one right now, keep that in mind. Keep it in mind that most of what you're losing, you weren't supposed to have in the first, but you don't actually have, and you were never going to have it. It's just something that you had in your head. And really what's happened is that you've just gained a lot of good times in your life. And that's not bad. There's nothing bad about that. So, let it go easy and be thankful for those times. Anyway, that's what I have to say about that. And now you guys know, the news and everything. And so you guys can maybe help me spread it around a bit, because I don't like throwing it out there. It just seems a little weird for me to park myself on Twitter one day and just out of nowhere for no reason say, by the way, me and Toast aren't together anymore. Send. It seems a little bit TMI and off topic for anything. So it just, it's hard to, know how to talk about that to people. So anyway, now you guys know. Timmy Fox says, wise words there too. My last breakup was pretty bad, though. As a result of it, I now feel like I've gotten a lot stronger and grown up quite significantly. Yeah, it is really, really difficult to actually, I don't know, the worst heartbreak I ever had, after that, I felt more cognizant of life and more sure of who I was and what I was on this planet and what I wanted to do than any other time in my life. I don't think that I could have learned as much as I did. I know I couldn't have without that first breakup. It's really something that I think everybody eventually will go through, and it's going to ultimately be a good thing for people, because it does cause a certain change in you where you can start to prioritize things that matter and things that don't, and it makes you think differently about yourself and other people and life in general. And that's a good thing too. So I'm not wanting to make it sound like everything about, breaking up with someone you love is a good thing, but because it's not, because it does hurt really bad. But there are a lot of good things about it. And, I like to focus on the good side of things. So let's see. Jason says, I had this 2 weeks ago with my friend. I know how it feels. Gosh, this is, I hope you were about to say poignant, or good, or helpful, and not retarded and moronic and dumb. Like it probably is. I'm probably being a moron. Stoll says, damn too. I figured that was what happened when you mentioned it in a previous blog. Glad to hear everything's still going okay for you, though. Yeah, I did make a short blog about it to my Patreon patrons. Like, I think about a month ago, I let them in on it in a short vlog. Just a little phone vlog. And just to let them know, because I was having a difficult time between that and between Sam Conway's father dying. Those two things kind of sort of put me out for about a week. And I was having trouble making videos, so I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that I was going to be okay and that the videos might get a little bit light for a little while. But I can't quite read that name. Glint Rosergade. Hello, Two Griffin. Hello. Hi. It's good to see you here. I'm glad that you're here. Is this your first time in the channel? Is this your first time on the show? Because if it's your first time, then you have to go through the initiation. No, you don't. What would the Beercast initiation be anyway? I don't even know. Oh man. But like I said, that happened to the first of the year. My Patreon happened to the first of the year. Like 2016, like almost on a dime, my life completely flipped around into a totally different thing that it wasn't before, and I had to kind of get used to that. But like the vast majority of what's going on in my life right now is really good, and it's really happy, and I'm a happy bird, and I want you guys to be happy too. And so I'm glad that I can have shows like this where I can just chill out with you guys and talk, because I don't get a chance to do this very often. Zero hugs to, as I said last week too, we don't go away. We all care for you, as you do for us. No, don't leave. If you ever need an ear or shoulder to lean on, pick any one of us. Where are your family and where are you? I'm sorry I had to read that like that. It was going off the screen and I can't stop it because the stupid thing. Oh yeah, there. Oh, found the tab. It's often you got to see my mouse going around. Oh no. Oh wait, no you don't, because I turned off the mouse capture. Yes, Jesse, hi, Flops is in the channel. Yes, things have flipped, and for the majority of it, things have flipped for the better, definitely. And I'm happy, like I said, and I want to take the happy from my 360-degree face and go blug it, and I want to vomit the happy onto everybody else, because sometimes people need that extra boost of positivity, and I want to be able to make videos all the time, every day, that people can watch, and they go, and they smile, and it makes them smile, and then they are happy. Because that's just what I want to do. It's what I want to do in life. It's selfish, I'll tell you that. It's absolutely selfish, because I feel good when I make other people be happy. So it's completely selfish on my part. This is all just for me. I'm doing this for me because I feel good when I make you guys feel good. But when you can find a person that feels good to do good things, hopefully, that's not a terrible thing. I don't like to think of myself as a really good person, but I try. I know that I try to be. And that's, sometimes in life, that's really all you have to do, is you have to just try to be a good person. And I do. Thank you too, says Nada Brat. You're welcome. I don't know what I did, but you're welcome. I hope it was good. Untire me, says Jackie Foxbutt. I don't know what to do. I don't have any, if I had 3D, then I would be like, but I don't. Two, you're the Unikitty of the fandom. I'm the Unikitty. I don't even know. I don't even know what that is. Oh, went right over the old man's head. I'm old man. So, yeah. Oh. Anyway, I want to try mead, says Jesse Neubauer. You need to try mead. Mead is an awesome thing, especially the best mead, though, ever is homemade mead. If you can get ahead of some homemade mead, then everybody, including giraffes, will salute you. Bree! 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 Oh my God. I just realized if you extend the brie out, it sounds like a telephone. Bree! Telephone. Holy shit! Okay, I have to go contemplate this now. What this has to do with telephone. So I'll be back in just a few minutes after the break, and we'll talk more about that. And we will read your emails as well. So I'll see you then. Bach! We have returned from the break. Oh, okay. I had an old man moment there. Sorry about that. Sora is asking about telephone right now. Sometimes telephone does poke herself in the channel. Doesn't look like she did tonight, but that's okay. She shows up sometimes she doesn't. If she had showed up right after I'd made that ringing telephone sound, I'd kind of freak out because now we'd know. Or did she show up? Because now we'd know actually, you know, that how to call a telephone. We'd just make the telephone sound and she appears. Anyway, you guys, I want to thank you first of all for sending in all the pictures because they're really good. I love the pictures you guys. Some of them are. Whoever did that one that was like the landscape of the lake and it was black and white, but it was color in the reflection. That was awesome. I really, really liked that one. So, yeah, all the pictures that are sent in are good. And if you want to send pictures in too, then go ahead. People are like, well, what should I pick? Just take pictures of things that are important to you. Sometimes I'll give you, like a little idea or something to help maybe inspire you of something to take pictures of. Like, for instance, it's getting spring now. So maybe something good to take picture of would be your interpretation of what spring is, of what spring means to you. If you find, your first flower or leaves on trees or birds or whatever, or, as long as it's not like a pile of dog crap or something like that, then, that's, that all that stuff is good. Just express yourself and send it in. Brian Bosch says, too, I'm a volunteer firefighter. Have you ever thought of being a firefighter in any way? No. I have not thought of doing that. Well, I mean, I've thought of it. But I don't think I'd ever consider doing that because I was a police officer, and being a firefighter that's too much of a dangerous job. I mean, compared to being a police officer, being a firefighter is way, way more. I mean, way more dangerous, way more. That is crazy heroic shit. No. I mean, and I'm not that I'm, saying don't be a firefighter or trying to disrespect it. I'm just saying that is above my level of anything that I could do. Any kind of awesome that I have in my face, that is beyond any awesome level that I have. That's just too much. I wouldn't be able to do it. Anyway, we have emails from you guys, and I'm going to start to read some of them now. Dear 2, I love the new Church of the Great Giraffe and how quickly it has caught on. Bree. Sit here and Bree. Yes. I have a question, though. I was listening to some old 2 Cents episodes when I heard you talking about the Church of the Holy Spork. Why haven't I heard about this before? What happened to the Church of the Holy Spork? Do you think that the same thing that happened to sporks could happen to giraffes? Well, I hope not. Their sporks are being used to eat mashed potatoes and gravy at KFC. I hope that doesn't happen to giraffes. What will the next religion be? What church should I go to on Sundays to worship Great Giraffe? Curiously yours. And that was unsigned. That was a 2 Cents thing. The Church of the Holy Spork that was on one episode. We were like, hey, we should make a church and the holy symbol is a spork. And people were like, hey, and it was fun. And people, mentioned it. We talked about it a couple times. But it did not get, for some reason, Great Giraffe that captured people for some reason. And so everybody took off with it. I guess because it's giraffe, it's easy to put a giraffe face on it now. So now, oh, good. Whew, thought my mic was muted. So now that's all going, and it's obviously not muted because of all the Bree in the channel. Holy shit! So yeah, okay, yes, it's become a thing now, and I'll be honest, from where it came from, the whole the Great Giraffe and all that, it could have been one of those things where I just kind of ignored the momentum that it gained and been like, it was just a segment or something like that. But I'll be honest, I really like it. I like the idea. and a lot of people have had a lot of enthusiasm for it. So I'll tell you now that at my show this year, my live show at Anthrocon, there will be more about Great Giraffe. There's going to be more Great Giraffe preachings. There's going to be more preachings about Great Giraffe. Oh, yeah. Because if I don't, then I imagine I will probably be lynched. So I kind of have to. Next mail. I believe this is how you'd like to be sent fan pictures for the show. So I hope that I did this right. If not, I'm sorry. I love your content. And this is a picture. This is a drawing, a piece of fan art that was sent by this. There we go. I'm a burb. Burb me. That's very cute. I like that. I'm all derpy because I'm totally derpy. So yes, that's me in a nutshell right there. I'm a burb, and then every now and then I will say bug it, and then that's what you got. That's a burb. Hello to I'm new to this fandom and I haven't told my family yet. Well, you might want to wait until you move out. I would like to make you a clay thingy for you and others, but I'm too nervous to ask if you, in the general sense, if you would like that. Well, if you're too nervous to ask it, then you don't have to do that. Anything you don't want to do, if you're nervous about it, sometimes things you're nervous about, you have to go on and you have to do anyway, just to, overcome that nervousness. But you don't have to. If you're nervous about it, then you do not have to ask about that. And I will not blame you at all if you don't. Next letter. How would you describe a con for someone who's never been to one? Oh, boy. At least as best as you can describe for someone who not only attends the cons, but also sometimes makes them. One of your biggest fans, Anonymous. P.S. I need to say something weird or I'll die, so... Blahergle! And that's how it's spelled, too. How to describe a con to someone's never been to one. Imagine, spastic macro fursuit ejaculation. It's really, really, your first FurCon, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow it. And this is the same thing that happened to me when I was skydiving. The first time I skydived, I was sitting there and I was getting lessons on how to skydive, and my instructor said, okay, here's what's going to happen. You're going to have sensory overload in your brain. It's going to be too much going on, and while you're falling, and you're going to be, poof, your brain's going to go off. You're going to forget what to do. You're going to forget how to do things. This is why we're going to go with you, and we're going to make sure you do it right, because your brain's going to go la, 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 because there's too much for it to process the first time. And they were right. They were right about that. As soon as you jump out, you literally cannot process, your brain cannot process the idea that you are falling through space towards Earth with nothing but a parachute on your back to save your life. It's really, really, and the view and the wind in your face, and there's so much sensation all at once that your brain goes, yeah, book it, and it starts barbecuing in your backyard. That's what you're doing. You sort of float off and go somewhere else, and you're going, That's kind of what your first FurCon is like. There's so much to do, there's so much to see, that by the time the weekend is over and it's Monday, you're going to kind of go, the hell just happened? It's going to be you're going to need like about a week to process it, at least, to sit there and remember everything that happened to you and all the fun that you had, and because there's so much, it's a lot of sensory overload. So it's pretty cool in a way, but you got to get that first, you got to get that first con out of the way. You got to de-virginize yourself as far as cons go, and then you'll know next time a little bit better how to do things. 2, when is Eurofurence? I don't know. I think it's in August. I'll have to look that up. I think I'm going, but I don't know when it is. Oh yeah, Timmy Fox says third week in August. So yep, there it is. Let's see. Greetings, Space Chicken. Inkster here. Your discussion about watching 80s commercials when you were younger got me wanting to ask, what was it like for you seeing early beginnings of the internet and watching that slowly evolve into what it is today? Growing from something that was non-existent thing that few people use to this omnipresent, ever-accessible force in our economy, culture, and how we communicate, and also allowing us to more easily access, share, and create creative content. You know, that's something that I actually lament that some of the younger people out there didn't have the experience of having, was not having internet and then having it. Because you'll never, there'll be other things in your life where it'll pop up. It'll suddenly pop up into existence, and you'll remember a time when it was never there, and now it is. And you'll be able to remember a time before it happened and be like, you'll be amazed by it for the rest of your life. You'll be like, wow, this is so cool. And it's the same way with the internet for me, because when I was born, half of my life, there was no internet. Well, about half. And so I spent half my life with no internet, the other half with it, and I'm constantly, continually amazed still by the internet, simply because I had the privilege of not having it for a while and then suddenly it being there. And I know people right now, and I don't want to ridicule anybody specifically. I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but I've had people who, younger people that I talk to, who are sitting in front of a computer talking to me on the internet, and they'll be like, well, I would love to know more about Native American religion, but I don't know anything about it. Smack! You have the largest, repository of human knowledge ever collected right in front of your face, and I don't know anything about that. Come on! This is something that, it's just weird to me that the entire collection of human knowledge is right here in front of our faces, and we're using it to watch, Two Girls, One Cup. Come on! To me, this is something that will continue to be amazing all the time. And I know that when you're born with it, you grow up with it, it's something that's just there, so you don't appreciate it as much. But, maybe step back and, try to live for a week or a month without the internet. Just try it. Just give it a try. And see how much you appreciate it when you come back. And that'll give you a fraction of the appreciation that I have for it, having grown up without it. So I'm really happy that I actually got to grow up without it, because it gives me a perspective that I just will never be not amazed at the internet. It's so cool. World-changing shit. 2, if I find you at a con, I will tackle you, shake your hand, drag you back to a bar, buy you a beer or 10, take a picture, then just leave you to enjoy the spoils until you forget my name. Everything in there sounds good except the tackling. Don't do that. That's assault. And at my age, that could really hurt me. People think it's cute sometimes to come by and say, hey, and grab you and do that bear hug that's not pleasant for anyone ever. And without thinking that, I may have back problems. That may actually be unpleasant for me. And I don't like to punch people in the nose, but if people do that, then I will, because that's not good at all to do that to someone. So don't hurt people. Next one. Let's see here. Dear 2, you've talked a little bit about cooking, and I was curious if you have any cooking stories you might have, funny, interesting, horrifying, etc. Also, I was hoping you could show us some of your tattoos. There's always a glimpse or a blur of them, but never a good shot. Much appreciated, from Reed O. I don't want to go into too long because I want to get through these mails if I can, but I do have one particular cooking story that I have about the first time I was experimenting and learning about cornstarch, and about how I didn't realize that it needed heat to actually start thickening. So I'm dumping cornstarch into this mixture that I have, and it's not getting any thicker. And this was hot sauce I was making. And so I dumped more, and I thought, I wonder if it needs to heat to actually work. Turned on the the burner, and within 2 minutes the thing went turned into cement. So I shoveled it out with a spoon, and I put it in a little squirt bottle, and we used it for sandwich topping for a while. It was about as thick as probably some thick Thousand Island dressing. So yeah, but after that I learned my lesson, and I did it right. And I actually make a damn good hot sauce. Maybe I'll give you my recipe one of these days. Let's see. Hey, too, I missed watching your live stream today because it was Friday morning here in Perth. Hi. Hello, Australia. And I had to be at work. But I watched the recorded version of it when I got home with a nice glass of red. I doubt you would remember the last time that we met. It was 2011. You and Toast still lived in L.A. with Jibba Wags and another who I can't remember. It was one of my last days in California, that trip, and a lot of us went to Disney and California Adventure. I still have the photo from the Hollywood Tower of Terror ride. Kindest regards, CJ. Well, of course I remember that. Of course I remember. Dude, yes, I remember you. And I remember that trip. It was a lot of fun, too. And you weren't the only one there, either. There was a whole pack of people that day. It was really cool. Okay, next letter. I thought I made it through the Beercast without hearing about my work or hearing one of my emails. Always makes my angel dragon tail wag when I hear it. I was re-listening to the cast, and I heard you talk about great giraffe art that you had in Vector, guessing it was mine. So here's a couple of versions of the Brie art. Thanks for the show. Graphics. Yeah, I did. That was, I couldn't display that. And, oh, crap. There was another. Okay, I missed this. Missed this one. Sorry about that. I don't know who did it. I may have already read the email, but here's another bit of fan art that somebody else sent me of me trying to get my beak into a beer glass, which I think is really funny. It's like, damn it, how does I get beer? I cannot get the beer. And this one is the one that was the graph. It was the the Vector Graphics one that I couldn't show last time. And he sent me like several versions of this, and I looked at all of them, and they were all like in negative. I don't know if they're supposed to be that way, but either way, I think they look pretty cool. So yeah, that was the Vector graphic. That was one that you could put on a beer glass, which would be kind of cool to have that as a beer glass. Also be kind of cool to have that as a T-shirt, actually. So yeah, I love it. It's such good art. This is like the week of fan art. I got a lot of it, and I'm going to show it all to you guys. Let's see here. Really loving the Beercast so far. I hope to see more craziness over the years. I was the crazy guy who went fanboy at MFF. I'd like to apologize for acting like that. It was not cool. I also had a guest idea for a show in the future, getting a non-fur Let's Player who may not be well known like the Runaway Guys. Okay? Keep being awesome. None signed. To be very honest, a lot of people worry far too much when they meet me at cons, and they don't exactly act maybe the way they wanted to when they met me, because this is like, to me, this is like saying, hey, remember that one guy you met when you were in New York City? That was me. I acted a little bit crazy when I was around you. Okay, well, that narrows it down to about 5,000 people that year. So it's okay. I mean, I don't hold that kind of thing against people. I definitely don't sit there, unless you make it a point of being a total dick. I don't sit there and, think, oh, that guy who's weird. No, I'm fine. People express themselves in different ways. And I'm not going to judge that. That's cool. Let's see here. Hey there, Fluff and Feathers. Hope you've both been doing well and that the streams are going great, too. I'm always happy to check them out when I've got my Thursdays available to me, and your content always brings a smile to my face. I'm so happy about that. With that said, here's hoping that a little art gift will be able to do the same for you. Cheers and all the best wishes from a Canadian fan from Chibity. Uh-oh. This is from Chibity. Oh, my God. It's so, here, look. It's freaking adorable. It's so adorable. How? How does she make, I'm assuming it's a she, how does she make the adorbs that much? Oh my God. That's the adorbs version of me. Holy crap. Oh, I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I want to put that somewhere. I'm gonna find a place to put that. Hi, two. You know my secret. I'm actually a train, and I did a drawing of myself. This is drawn exclusively for the people in the Beercast. It won't be going up on DA or FA. Drawing with your wheels is hard. Train the train with friends, including Biohazarda, Indigo Ryu, Timmy Fox, Uncle Kagi, and Telephone. And trains a silly Wei Fu, Cat Monroe, putting in the wood for the boiler. But their journey is thwarted by pesky cows. Oh no! How can this be? There it is. Train drew this. This is Train being a train. And it's cute. And there's a little telephone in there. There's a dragon. Yep. And there's cows. You know what you need to do there with the cows train is you just need to like run them over and make hamburger out of them, and then we can all enjoy some steak. Just plow them over and we can steak it up. Hang on a second. Oh, the other beer. Gotta love it. Last piece. This artist wrote in and said, couldn't resist, hope you feel better, didn't sign it, and sent me this, which is really cute. To the Ranting Space Chicken! Okay, I guess it's official. I am now a space chicken. I didn't want this in my life. I did not want to be a space chicken. But I guess that I am. So, yeah, now I'm officially a space chicken, I guess. I've got 3 more letters. I'm not going to be able to get through them because they're longer letters. So I'll just go and we'll just go and see what happens. Dear 2, been trying to catch up with old episodes of 2 Cents for the upcoming new season. I thought I had just finished watching the last episode on your website for March 10th, 2012, but nope, turns out there are even more episodes on the RGS channel on Ustream. Yes, there are. What blows me away is that even though you had several different co-hosts on the show over the years, you yourself have been a part of every single show. Just out of just the shows that I've heard, that is 240 hours of nothing but recording. Only some kind of lunatic could devote that much of their lives to a show like this, and you want to make more. Exactly how insane are you? And how will we see this reflected in the longevity of the 2 Cent Show as well as everything else that you do? Your newest boss. That's how it was signed, was your newest boss. The reason why is because I simply enjoy doing this. I can't imagine doing anything else. I don't know how to do anything else. This is all I know how to do is entertain people, be in front of them, talk to them, do something to make them laugh or make them smile or make them think. That's all I know how to do. It's all I've ever known how to do. People put me in front. I mean, I barely know how to work a cash register. It's sad as it is. I probably couldn't get a job at a food court because people, you know how to work a register, right? No. Well, bye. And I'm 45 years old almost 45 years old at this point. So this is all I've ever done for my whole life is entertain people. And it's all I can imagine doing every time I wake up every morning. So, yeah. Anyway, that's all I'm going to really have time for. I know I had a couple more I wanted to read, and I'm sorry if I didn't get to them. If you want to send in any photos or any fan art or any mails or anything like that to me, send them to 2beercast@gmail.com. That's our email address that we use here. And let's see. Jesse Neubauer says 2 doesn't have a set persona design. It's basically however you interpret it. She's right too. I like to see how other people see my character. So, and that's true. I really enjoy when the artist can sit there and think about my character and bring it out of their brain and show me what I look like to them. It's like having a mirror in front of me rather than telling the mirror what I want to see. So to me, that actually is a lot more special than me just dictating what I want to see in a mirror. I want to see what they show me. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to have to take off here very, very soon. And it was amazing hanging out with you guys again. And we will see you on the other channel with the gaming videos and with other stuff. And I'll see you again on a Beercast quite soon. Thank you for hanging out with me, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.